you're going to do is you're going to check for a solution. So you're going to be given an equation, something to substitute. This goes all the way back to chapter 1 where you're given an expression or an equation with like one variable, and then you were asked to solve it for a value to see if it worked. So this is the exact same thing, except now you have two variables. So example 1 is 2y plus x equals 4. And the two numbers it wants you to substitute are those two. Remember, your first number is x, your second number is y. Go ahead and substitute those values in and figure out if it works.
Oh, I mixed up the y's and the x. I substituted x for y.
That's why this is the first problem. For all you smart people who think you're smarter than notice.
My bad. I am really smart though.
Obviously. Who got yes? Awesome. All right, example 2. Let's try this again. Maybe we can do this one better. Negative 7x minus 4y equals 1. Negative 3, negative 5. Make sure we're zoomed in good enough to see the numbers. Okay. Give you 20 seconds here. Shouldn't take you long to do your homework.
I think we'll finish it in class.
I'll depend on you. If you're just doing it in your head or we're going to actually write it down. I guess it doesn't matter, it's going to be the same amount of time.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
Point for me.
We got 41 equals 1. Good. All right, now let's go ahead and graph. Example 3. Y plus x equals 2. Now we haven't really gotten into slope-intercept form yet so much. We're going to start by graphing the typical way with an XY chart. Okay? And I don't care if you just write XY or if you actually write the whole expression, whole equation on the middle, and this is where you do your work. I don't care about the middle part so much. Most of you can do this stuff in your head, so that's okay. But I do want an XY chart. I want you to use these numbers as well. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. It gives you a couple of negatives, it gives you a couple of positives, and it also tells you what's happening when it's 0. Okay? Now you can choose any values you want, but today I want you to use these 5. I want you to plug them in and everybody get the same thing. Alright, so that means I'm substituting that number in for the x, wherever the x is. And then I'm solving it. So to get y by itself, I add 2, positive 2. Is that right?
Yep.
Alright. And if you wanted to, you could also do a coordinate section as well. Alright, to make it a little more formal. And then plot these points. So everybody go ahead and finish this and plot it on the graph. And I'll do the same thing while you're doing it. And then you can check as you're doing it to see if you get the same thing. Okay? I'm okay with just an XY chart. You don't have to do all that other stuff. My other classes. All right? So what I want to see in your homework is an XY chart, correct values, and a graph. Okay? Example 4. See if you can do this. X equals 2. Raise your hand if you're stumped.
No, I know, we learned this last year.
Right. This is something you should have memorized if you didn't understand it last year. This is where all the values of x equals 2. Well, x equals 2 right here. Where else does x equal 2?
Like 100 plus and 100 minus and a million plus.
Yeah, infinitely many. Any of these up here, the x value in the coordinate is 2, isn't it? No matter what the y value is, the x value is 2. Same thing down here. So this is a vertical line going through the x at 2. So whenever you see this, it tells you which axis it's going through. Alright, so example 5 is y equals -3. What is that going to look like? Which axis is it going to cross?
Y.
Y-axis at 3. So -3. So that is the graph of that line. Memorize that stuff so it's easy when you see it on an exam, all right? And then the last one, let's see if you can do this on your own. Y equals -5x plus 3. The domain, what is the domain? What's domain mean?
X.
The x values. I want the x values to be less than or equal to 0. I want the graph of only the values of x that are less than or equal to 0.
Yeah.
So that means if you're going to make an XY chart, don't give me any values that are greater than 0. So how about, we'll start at 0. What's less than 0? 1, -2, -3. Okay? You plug those in. Graph those, and on your graph paper, it doesn't go up past 10. You can go by 2s if you want, or you can go by 1s. 0, 3, right here. -1, 8 is right there. And then 2, 13, that's all up there. So watch what happens. All my x values to 0. Including 0. If it didn't include 0, what if this equal sign wasn't here, what would I say?
It would be an open.
An open circle. This would be open like that. But it is equal, so we're going to include it. That means you color it in. And then it keeps going for infinity to the left. This would be the correct graph of that line based on what I have for my domain. Okay? Yes? I don't want to know what's over here because it's limiting me to only the negative values and 0. Assignment. Page 219. 40 evens. And the mixture of u evens.